Hello Aries, and welcome to your June 2021 reading. Let's look into your energy today for the sun, moon, and rising signs. If you don't know your sun, moon, and rising sign, you can look in the description box down below for a free site that will take you to what you need. If this reading does not resonate with you, remember that energies can be reversed, means that you can assign the roles any way you like. But stick around because there may be something in the reading that you need to hear. These messages are timeless, and that means that even if you were to listen to this message a year from now or 2 years from now, if God brought you here, it's because there's something in it for you, whether it's today or in the future. If this reading does not resonate with you, it just means that I'm not picking up on your specific energy at the time. If there are cards in here that you want to resonate with you, but they're just not yet, that's okay, because all you have to do is go to the video, What Are They Thinking About You, April 2021, and at the end of that video, it explains on how to raise your vibration in order to match the cards that you're looking at and that you're wanting to bring into your life. Because all of manifestation is in your hands anyway. So if there's things in here that you like, great, use it. If there's things in here that you don't like and it doesn't resonate with you, that's okay too. During this reading, the angels are bringing the Holy Fire Reiki energy to you. And at the end of this video, I will release the trapped emotions for your sign. I will let you know what essential oils and maybe even some crystals that can help maximize your energy. So check out the description box down below for all the details. If you like this reading or you were entertained in some way, don't forget to like and subscribe and hit the notification bell. This way you can get notified as soon as I post something new. So before we get started, what I'm going to do is talk about some major things that are going to be happening in June so that you can understand where we're going before we get into your actual reading. There's a new moon solar eclipse that's going to be happening on June 10th. We're going to talk about that. Also, Mercury Retrograde is going to be for the entire month of June. And then we just got out of a lunar eclipse, which you probably should be still feeling some of the effects from, which was really wild, crazy energy. So if you've been feeling off balance, that's why. I did a video about the lunar eclipse. That will be in the description box down below so that you can get some more information about that. And it's for all signs, so you can watch your sign or all of the signs. Doesn't really matter how you do it. It's going to be a very intense month from mid-May until the end of July. And that's just because of everything that's happening. But this month is very important for people because it's about changes. It's about surprises. It's about making the instability stable again. So eclipses, whether they are lunar or solar, the eclipses are very important because they make things appear, things that you didn't know before. Like for instance, there was a friend of mine who we went over her retirement for her, and she didn't realize how close she was to retirement because she just assumed that this pension was going to take care of her instead of realizing that she could have just taken that money out and put it in a Roth IRA, and then she could build up her own money for herself opposed to giving it to the pension. That when she passes, the pension takes your money. You know, they may take care of you while you're alive, but what happens to your family and that extra money, that extra growth, right? She doesn't get the extra growth. The family would only get whatever she put in, which was very small compared to the growth, right? So that's what I'm saying. Something like that. You can get really big things that make sudden life changes for you, that make you go, you know, I really need to take a look at that again. And that's what's so important about the eclipse season, about the retrogrades. Please don't fear any of this stuff because it's the thing that you go, man, I wish I knew that, because if I would have known that, I would have made a different decision. And it really is it can be a very positive experience for you if you go into the mindset that way. Instead of the mindset of, oh my gosh, changes in my life, I think I'm done. You know what I mean? We don't need to do that, right? Okay. So, very interesting things. We're going to talk a little bit about Mercury Retrograde first before I get into your reading as well, because you need to know some things. Mercury Retrograde is about misunderstandings, miscommunication, restlessness. You might be jumping around to a bunch of ideas. So you may be feeling the effects of the lunar eclipse that we just had, where you might be feeling like you're pulled in a million places, or you just have so many ideas of things that you want to do. When we're in Mercury retrograde, We want to make sure that we don't jump to conclusions. That's really important. We want to make sure that we kind of wait on major decisions. It's not that you can't make major decisions. It's just really a month of planning is better. Because what can happen is if you make major decisions, quick major decisions like, let's get married. You know what I mean? Like you just met a person and you want to get married right away. It could turn into disappointment. You could backtrack a lot in the relationship, lots of redos. And then also we have where there's probably, because of the solar eclipse, there's probably going to be a large correction in the stock market, but it's going to be temporary. So those people who have money in the stock market, the best thing that we always do is we always just stay. Don't freak out. Don't pull your money out and create a panic. Because it's possible there's going to be a correction because of the energy and the planets. And so just be aware of that and take a deep breath, and whatever you do, try not to do major things like pulling all of your money out of the stock market because there was a correction and now you're like, oh, we're going to lose all of our money because of, in our Bitcoin and everything. Just don't do that. Just say, you know what, if I'm going to make any major decisions, it's going to be in the middle of July or the end of July. I'm just not going to do it right now, but I will make the decision. I'm just not going to do it right now. Because finances is a big thing with all of those planets, Jupiter, Saturn, Aquarius, all of those planets. Finances is really big for that. And finance is also really big when we're talking about the Mercury retrograde as well. We could spend too much, or we could plan for our future. So it's really whatever decision you're going to make. New moon solar eclipse is in Gemini on June 10th. That could bring on a correction around that area. But that right after that, though, Mars goes into Leo on June 11th, which is going to give everybody the courage to push forward to their goals. So even though we're going to be in Mercury retrograde, you are going to get this feeling of wanting to push it forward towards your goals. And that's fine. Just make sure that we're not starting a brand new business. It's good to start a business, but make sure we're in the planning stage and that you actually do the launch after the Mercury retrograde, which is July, the middle of July, okay? Now, June 12th, then we have Venus is very powerful, and then you're going to want to feel like going to parties and love and creativity and all of those things. And then June 13th, you're going to get more secrets revealed by the sun, because the sun is going to start shining bright and big in the solar system. So we're all going to get illuminated as well. So it's going to be a very, very powerful month. My job for you is to give you as much information as you can so that you can move through it. Please use the support of your friends. Maybe I'll even post a suicide hotline in case some of you guys need to talk to someone and you don't want to talk to your friends, because I'm not saying it's going to be that horrible, but it depends on your astrology and what you're going through in life and how many changes you're going to have. And so what I'm saying is the energy won't last forever. So for those of you who are feeling like you can't do this anymore or whatever, that could be a feeling, because whenever the energy is big and we're not understanding it, or we're not linking two and two together, then we could have that feeling. Some things that you want to remember for the Mercury retrograde is that you might be forgetful. It's going to pass. All of this is going to pass. You might have a hard time making up your mind about things. You might change your mind a lot, going back and forth. You might second guess yourself. You might have issues with your cell phone, your computer, your electronic devices. You might need to plan a little bit better for trips, road trips and car trips and plane trips. Just make sure you leave a lot earlier and a lot for more time. Like, don't leave at the last minute, because Mercury rules over communication and travel. So make sure that you are just giving yourself ample amount of time when you're driving. Try to get your car serviced before the retrogrades next time. And if you didn't do it, make sure you do it after the retrograde. Get your car serviced, get your cell phones and things like that repaired and stuff after the retrograde, unless you need it repaired right now. But just be aware that there could be a lot of back and forth with the repairs, and just let it go. Be what it is. Be very fluid through this time. It's not really a good time for making contracts. You can do it. You just have to look at all the details. You can't just go, okay, and sign it like you could at a non-retrograde time, or you have before at other times and everything was worked out, because you might not have all of the information to make a great deal. So that's why you don't really want to do contracts or promises or something like that during the retrograde. It's just because you may not have all of the information. You might want to buy something and think it's a great deal and then want to sign the contract, but then right after Mercury retrograde, it goes on sale. So that's why you kind of want to wait. And so if you can wait, just say, hey, I'd love to do this with you. I think I'm just going to wait until the end of July. And I did that when I bought my house. So I found the house that I wanted during the retrograde, and I almost bought a house during the retrograde, but because I knew this, I was like, I don't know. And then I found out later that the house had a natural spring on it, and even the landscaper was like, I wouldn't have bought that house, which is really good because I ended up not buying that home because it was the retrograde. That's why I didn't buy it. And then I waited till right after into the shadow period. Then I found a house, and then we didn't actually sign the contract until the retrograde was completely over. So just so that you are aware of that, there are ways of working around it. And I was very clear with my realtor, I'm not buying a home during the retrograde. My realtor probably thought I was crazy because she didn't really know much about it, and I understand, but I know. And if you know, you can just be like, hey, if we can hold off on this, I'd like to. Now, if you've already been making plans for something for a really long time and the event happened in the retrograde, it's supposed to, and that's okay. So I have a lot of people who've been looking for jobs, and they're like, oh, am I not supposed to take a job right now? No, if you've been doing it well before, then yes, you totally can. If this is something that you've been doing for right before the retrograde and then it just popped up. Now, if a job pops up in the retrograde that you had not in your awareness, that could be a good thing because of the solar eclipse, but it might not be a good thing too. So be careful and make sure you cross your T's and dot your I's and check every detail and ask for more information. Don't just assume. Don't assume anything during the retrograde. Make sure you're very clear about your communication. Make sure you know all the details about the job. Make sure that you know everything, and see if maybe you can't hold off on actually signing the contract until the shadow period at least. Those are some things to kind of look at. I'll put the link to the dates of the Mercury retrograde in the description box down below as well, so that you can click on that and you can see all of the dates for the Mercury retrograde, so you can plan your life accordingly and just in a very good way. So before we get started today, Aries, what I'd like to do is kind of talk about what's going to be happening with Mercury retrograde specifically for your sign of Aries. First of all, before I do that, I want to just talk about what Aries is and the fiery sign of Aries that you are. The energy is all around you in a very dynamic and spontaneous way. It's crusading, impulsive action is very likely. So you're going to feel very fiery because you are Aries. That is your power. And the Mercury retrograde is how you think, communicate, write, talk, and travel. So let's put these here. That's for every single sign. That's what Mercury represents. And for you specifically, it's going to be highlighting your third house. And that is your potential to learn something and your local neighborhood. Very interesting. Now, some more things that will help you kind of understand that is you're going to be concentrating on commitment and clarity. So your communication is going to be surrounding that. The learning sector part of you is going to be very, very highlighted this month. Media, technology, YouTube, any kind of technological thing would really be good for you as well. Sales, marketing, interviewing, meetings, short distance travel. You're going to feel really busy this month because there's going to be a lot of things happening. But sales is great for you, and then media is great for you. So using a media outlet of some sort would be really, really good for you this month. The essential oil that came up for you is adaptive. We'll talk about that later. The trapped emotions at the end of this video that we're going to release are humiliation that's hiding in your glands at the age of 3 and grief that was trapped in your colon at the age of 6. So we will talk about those. But for right now, let's go ahead and look at your energy for this month of June and during the retrograde and all of that stuff. Okay. I'm only accepting the highest and best truth for the Aries collective highest and best good, bringing forth the most accurate answer. So we're looking for what's going on in June for Aries during the Mercury retrograde. What do we need to know? What are the things that would best help Aries at this time? I want to thank you, Aries, for all the donations, all the like and subscribes. I'm almost at 500, which will make me an Amazon affiliate, which is pretty cool. That's my next goal. If you want to check that out and help me out, that would be great. Don't forget to hit the notification bell so that when I post something new, you know that I did. And I like to do this more in the month. So if you're somebody who's waiting for me to do it before the month, I like to be kind of more in the energy so I can really know what's going on. Because I don't, May, okay, the months overlap. And so I really want to be more in the month when I do it opposed to in the May energy. I want to know what's going on in June. So that's why I wait so long. And also it was my son's birthday on the 29th, so I didn't start doing anything on that day. But that was the actual beginning of the Mercury retrograde. Okay, so this is the last shuffle. I just had one of my Mercury retrograde tower moments. So if I sound like I'm a little stuffy, it's because I just had one of those kind of release moments, but it's good. It all was wonderful. It all worked out the way it needed to. So just know that I'm human too, and I'm going through it as well, just like everybody else. All right, so here we go, Aries. And that makes sense because I got a little bit of Aries in my chart. So, okay, let's see. So, well, we got good energy coming up, Aries, so good job. I love it. And this is wonderful. I'm going to move this sign up so I have some room. Okay, so that's the overall. Okay, we're clarifying that. I'm going to clarify these a little bit. So whenever I get those cards, I want to make sure that the outcome, what the outcome is. Okay, so, man, messing up my whole area. All right, oh, that's good. That's beautiful. All right, so the Queen of Cups is the overall energy for this reading for the month of June. That's good. It's a really good thing. It's a wonderful energy. It's probably one of my favorite energies. The Queen of Cups is very intuitive. She is nurturing. She treasures people. She's an ideal partner. She's super intimate, very stable, has great boundaries. She's a mother. She's loving. She's caring. If you want to be anyone, this is like a great energy to be in, right? But she just makes the world a better place. So whatever you're going to be going through, the energy is surrounding all of this is just like your world is going to be a better place after everything that's going on. You're going to feel you're going to be led through it through intuitive stuff. It's wonderful, okay? You're going to feel treasured by people. You're going to have really, really good energy no matter what any of these cards say, okay? So the energy that you're coming from is a very fast-moving energy. These are both cards of Cancer, which is really interesting. You might want to look in your chart and see if you have any Cancer. Or you might be just portraying some Cancer traits, or maybe you have a Cancer in your life who's been really there for you. So that's really cool. But this is a fast-moving energy. It's very unexpected, fast, fun. It's just a really good card. We're coming from that energy. And also, it could have been that lunar eclipse made a lot of people feel like they were so busy, and you're going to feel really busy in this month as well, because that's what the Mercury retrograde is bringing up for you. Aries is already busy because we're very fiery people, and it's like, type A personality. Yeah, totally, right? So we're kind of already a little bit high strung, but that's okay. Okay, so what's going on? So you're going to have some things that come up for you during the Mercury retrograde that's going to feel like the cups have turned over. It's going to feel like you're focusing more in on the things that aren't working opposed to the things that are working. And we have to do that anyway in the law of attraction. That is the first step in creating, making something manifest. It is being able to see the things that are not working and making decisions about what you want them, it's called dissonance, what you want. So you're going to get some dissonance. It's kind of like, then you get to make decisions about what you do want. Okay, so this is dissonance. So you will have dissonance. I just had it like 10 minutes ago and I've got Aries in my chart, so you will have that. We're all together, we're in this together. Just know, and the cool thing is that they're a lot quicker, it seems like, in this Mercury retrograde than the last Mercury retrograde. I just felt like I was so deeply involved in my thoughts. This time it's kind of like stuff comes up, I cry, I do what I need to do, and then it's over. So that's good. Cool thing is that what's crossing over this energy is a very free-spirited energy. It's very fun-loving. So it seems to me like this isn't going to last very long. You're not going to be up in your head for too long about it. It's kind of just going to be like, oh man, I really wish that was better or different. Okay, what are we going to do about it? It's like, that's the energy. All right, so how are we going to move through that then? You know, how about enjoy life and those things will fix themselves? It's kind of like that kind of energy where, I mean, this guy, he's got his, and there's no gender to the cards, I say that all the time. This guy's got this knapsack and he's got what he needs in there and he's just going to go take a walk, you know, and he's like not interested in anything else that's going on. So I have a feeling even though you see things and you recognize things as being not working or not really being helpful for you, you're going to be like, okay, yeah, that's great. And what are we going to do about it? Because that's the Aries energy anyway, is we move, we are the sign that moves things forward. We're the sign that makes things happen, you know? So even if you do see that, you're just going to kind of move forward through it and be like, all right, so it is what it is. What are we going to do about it? The thing that you're asking about is maybe you're feeling some stuck energy, or maybe you're like asking about something that is reliable, you know, because this card right here could be stuck energy. But so if you're feeling stuck, I do, so that you know, the answer is the Wheel of Fortune means things are going to be moving forward. So if you are feeling like some things are stuck, don't worry, it's going to move forward in the right direction. Because this is one of the best cards you can get in the deck. Okay, so that's a good answer. So the question that you're asking is, will money improve? Will I succeed? You know, will I, you know, have a loyal people around me? You know, will people be dependable? Because Aries is very responsible and dependable kind of a sign. So it's like, we really want people to be dependable too. You know, are those people going to protect me? Am I going to have the security? You know, if I'm going to get any kind of relationships in this month, are they going to be genuine? You know what I mean? Is this the plan? Sometimes you might be asking that question, like, is this the plan of the universe? What I'm doing, am I doing it the way that the plan is? And you know, basically, like, you know, whatever you're doing, is it consistent? That's what you want to know. And that your hope is that it is. Your hope is the Empress card. The Empress card is a really great card. The hope, that's like the best hopes of all. Like, if what I'm doing right now, will it provide the Empress energy? That's all I want to know. You know, is it going to make me feel like I'm in my power? Because Aries is very powerful and fiery. Is it going to make me feel like I'm in my power? Is it going to make me feel like I'm doing the right thing, I'm moving forward in the right way? Those are kind of the questions you're asking. And you have the Wheel of Fortune, which is the answer. This is the energy that's coming towards you next. So just know that things are moving forward. You're going to have communication, because those two birds in the card mean communication. So definitely, we're in Mercury Retrograde anyway, so there's going to be lots of talks, and just make sure that we don't have miscommunications. Aries, one of the things that we tend to do is we tend to jump to a conclusion. So be very careful about communications. Try to hear the person out first before you speak. That's something you're going to need to practice, because we're so quick and we get ideas so easily, and it's kind of like things just come fast, and we get intuition really easily and all of those things. We have to shut up and let people talk. I have the same issue. Like, I've got to shut my mouth and let people say what they want to say, because you may not have to say anything. You might actually get all the answers just by letting them talk. The Wheel of Fortune is amazing, because this is also like, even though it's moving forward in like to your best advantage. There's nothing on this Wheel of Fortune that is bad for you. Like, there is no bankruptcy thing. You know what I mean? It's kind of like, as long as you're vibrating really, really high and you're staying focused in the vibration, and you're focusing in on that way, then, you know, whatever you spin on that wheel is going to be something that you want. Like, there are no losers in this wheel at all. Now, the energy that's going to be, you're going to be feeling, is you're going to be making lots of decisions, but none of them are bad decisions. They're all good decisions. And it could be a decision about an air sign, a Gemini, Libra, or Aquarius. It could be somebody who's showing you that type of energy of Gemini, Libra, Aquarius. Maybe you're going to be involved in some decision making with people that have those signs. Because it's just energy. This is an astrology. We're talking about the energy. So it could be that person, or it could be just whoever's portraying that for you at the moment. But basically, this woman has a blindfold on, and she has two of the same swords in her hand. That means that when she takes the blindfold off, she's going to see that no matter what decision she made, it was going to be a really good one. Okay, so this is all in your favor. These are logical decisions. You're going to be more in your logical body, logical mind, which Aries loves. Aries, you have a lot of intuition, but it's very different. It really kind of spurs through some logic too. It's very interesting how Aries comes to their conclusions and their senses about things. It's really, really a different sign altogether. It's pretty cool. The people around you are going to feel really good, which is crazy because it's Mercury retrograde. And all the readings that I've had so far, everybody seems to be feeling pretty good. And I did hear that in somebody else's, like, I think it was last month or whatever, where I was listening to one of my favorite astrology people. And she was saying, or he was saying, sorry, it was a him. He was saying that this is going to be definitely a Mercury retrograde, but it's not going to be like the Mercury retrogrades where we've had before, where like we've had rioting and we've had just very murky waters where people just didn't know if they were coming or going. That could be the case, but I really feel like most everybody's going to be feeling really good during the retrograde, which is good, because if people are feeling good and vibrating high, then the lessons aren't as hard. They're actually lighter lessons, like you can move through them and get through them a lot faster, which is really good. The overall outcome from you is the Knight of Swords. So this is like the closest outcome. So end of July, right? I'm sorry, end of June, early July, like the end of the retrograde type of thing. This is kind of what we're talking about. The Knight of Swords. So you could be having a Knight of Swords coming into your existence, or you could be taking on the characteristics of a Knight of Swords. The Knight of Swords is great because it's an air sign. It has air sign quality, which is Gemini, Libra, Aquarius. So you can have a Gemini, Libra, Aquarius coming into your existence. Or it could just be you are feeling really ambitious, very intellectual, logical. You're making good judgments. The Knight of Swords also, the swords cut things out as well. So maybe you've cut things out during the retrograde and you're really, really happy about it. What I'm saying is that this Knight is going to cut off the bandages of so this card right here, they're telling me, is the reason why they gave it to me is because this is being trapped in your mind. All right. But it seems to me like this Knight is going to come in and save you from whatever's trapped in your mind, whatever belief systems that you have held on to for a long time that weren't true, but you needed this person to come in. Aries, you're very intuitive, but sometimes you want to see it tangible in the world. So then this universe is going to bring this person in to cut those bandages off for you so that you can really see it the way that it really was and not the way that you thought it was, because you've picked up some belief systems that were not true about a certain relationship, about a certain person, about yourself. And because of that, this person's going to come in and they're going to pretty much save you from your own thoughts, okay? Save you from your own BS or whatever you picked up. Now, the cool thing is that is going to put you in such beautiful energy. It's going to illuminate a lot of things that are going to make you feel really good about yourself and about the situation, about what happened. And you're going to be able to karmically release that, because that's what we do in the retrogrades, we release karmic situations and karmic lessons. And so this is actually going to be something you are going to really enjoy. You're going to really enjoy this conversation. You're going to really be thankful. What I see is like you actually having your hands out in prayer and thanking God and being like, thank you so much. I really, really needed that person to come in and share their wisdom with me and share their life experience with me, so I could really see everything that I needed to see, because what I was seeing was so different from what it really was. Okay. Now, the overall outcome in the end, so 3 to 6 months from now, is that you're going to be shown some of these swords, and some of it will hurt your heart, but you will be strong through it, okay? Because this is something that has to evolve. It's something that has to happen. We can't hold on to our pain anymore, and I'm hearing that this situation is going to help you let go. It's not going to help you let go just all of a sudden. You'll feel happy about it, and you'll learn things really quickly, and it'll be great and wonderful. But then there's more things that as the relationship, or as you move into this energy, there's going to be more things that illuminate and more things, and some of them will hurt your heart, and it doesn't mean that you did anything wrong. It's not that you're going to feel guilty. It's not that. It's more like they're showing me just things that have been deep inside of your heart for a long time, that it's time to let it go. And so those 3 pillars, those 3 swords, those 3 things for your mind, body, spirit, or something like that, something 3, 3, 3, 3, something's going to be let go. And so you're going to have the strength through it because Aries, you're really strong anyway. And I know you probably like, oh, I'm tired of being strong, but it's not like that. You're going to be very grateful because that's the next card, is that it's going to illuminate so much happiness in your life to finally be done with whatever this was that plagued your heart for so long. That you're finally going to be done. And it's interesting because I was just asking that today. I said, when am I going to be done with this? I literally said that to myself in the mirror, my hands in prayer, shaking my hands at the mirror, like when looking very Italian. When am I going to be done with this? Like, how much longer do I have to suffer with these thoughts and this stuff? When can I be done? It's like, and I'm feeling very strongly like, Aries, you may have released a lot of this pain and you may have released a lot of this. And when it comes up, it's going to be like, I thought I was finished with this. When am I going to be done? And they're saying you are going to be done. This is all a process. It's all something that you will be very grateful for when you finally do it, because it's going to feel like a weight lifted off your shoulders. It's going to feel like finally got what you wanted. You finally heard what you needed to hear. You finally were enlightened in a way that would help you to move forward in such a better way, in such a more beautiful way in existence. I love that. So they're showing me next to talk about these oils. This is the adaptive oil. We have a whole adaptive line. This is our mood. It's one of our biggest mood oils. It's wonderful. And there is some pills that come with it, and they have a little bit of GABA in there, just a tiny, tiny bit. And GABA is really something that they use in the mental health community and the world. So it's not addictive or anything like that. It's actually something that's produced in your body naturally, and some people just need a little bit more, just a tiny bit more. So there is a natural supplement that comes with it, and then there's these oils. And so what they suggest is that you take 1 tablet a day. I don't have it here because it's upstairs, but that you take 1 tablet a day. And sometimes when I was going through things that were making me have lots of anxious feelings, I would take, 1 in the morning and 1 at night, but that's totally up to you how you want to do it. And then you diffuse this one, and this one you roll along your spine or on the bottom of your feet is how you use that whole system. It's very, very beautiful. It smells wonderful, so it's not like an oil that stinks or anything. It smells really good. So it's something that you could definitely wear, and it's something you could definitely diffuse in your house. And then they also have the pills that you can take as well. So if some of this stuff starts to get really, really heavy, or if you just want to be focused in on happiness opposed to looking at the things like this, if you don't want to be in this energy and you kind of want to take control and be in a different energy, then I would make sure that you go ahead and do this. It's in the description box down below. You will see the doTERRA link. I only use doTERRA essential oils. doTERRA is the only ones who make this product. And don't buy it off of Amazon because doTERRA is not on Amazon. So if you're getting things from Amazon, you could be getting a fake. So I would not do it. But go ahead and just buy from doTERRA. Also, if you get a $35 membership with doTERRA, you'll get 25% off of this little kit that they have, which is great. If you wanted to waive the $35 membership, it's a one-time membership fee for the whole year. If you want to waive it, you just get a starter kit, and then you get a bunch of oils that you could play with, and you can add this adaptive kit along with it. All right? That's kind of how I would do that. Okay, so the next thing that we're going to do is we're going to release let's do a crystal, and then we'll release the trapped emotions, okay? Let's see what crystal would benefit you this month. And see how we could help. I am doing this reading while my husband took my kids to swimming lessons. I was like, okay, I'm gonna knock out a reading real quick because I got small kids, so sometimes it's hard to get a video out without hearing stuff going on in the home, All right. Okay, Aries, what do we have? Okay. Aries, we are going to be using turquoise. Turquoise will help you prioritize your health. So what I'm hearing is you might neglect your health while you're going through all of this other stuff. So to help you focus in on your health, go ahead and get some turquoise. And you can wear a bracelet, you can wear a necklace, whatever you want to do. I'm hearing like I want to see what this person could say coming in. I'm hearing like I should pull some cards on that. So let's hear what this person, And if you don't have a person coming in, which I feel like you do, but if you don't, then that could be you just, maybe you're going to come into someone with that type of energy and shed some light for someone else. Remember, roles can be reversed. But let's see what happens, Aries, and let's see what we get. What does this person want to say to Aries? This person who's coming in. I know that I crossed the line with you. Yeah, that's going to be a deep conversation for sure. I want to be more than friends. I hide who I really am from you. I'm starting to understand our connection. So that's how they're going to come in. Now, question is, what are they going to say later? After you guys have been talking for a while, how does that conversation going to look? You know, what is that? How, like, let's say a month into, or 2 months, or maybe 3 months, or 6 months. How is that going to evolve? Right? So we do, I guess I hear some like apology maybe coming in. Let's see what else we got. I look for you everywhere. I lost myself for a little while. I don't react when people mention you. So what I'm hearing is this person is it's going to get deeper. So they're going to start to really, so in the beginning, it's going to be very soft, like, hey, you know, you really mean a lot to me. And then as the relationship progresses, they're going to start to feel more comfortable with you and really start to dive in a little bit deeper with how the situation was and things of that sort. So very interesting how that came about. Okay, so let's do the trapped emotions. So go ahead and sit back, and we're going to invite Archangel Michael in, and your angels and spirit guides and your loved ones in spirit. And we are going to ask, so sit back, find a comfortable place. You can lay down, you can sit up, whatever you'd like to do. And what we're going to do is we're going to breathe a couple of times to relax ourselves, and then after that, we're going to start to ask to release the emotions. Okay, so here we go. Breathe in to center yourself and breathe out. Breathe in and breathe out. All right, so we have some humiliation that's been living in our glands since we were 3 years old. So let's go ahead, and humiliation could be anything. It could have been potty training. It could have been anything, okay? It could have been learning any kind of new skill that maybe somebody thought that you should have known a lot quicker than you did. So we could have been humiliated by someone, or maybe you had an abusive parent who just didn't like the fact that you were turning into a person. And maybe they humiliated you on purpose. So let's breathe in and breathe out. If you don't have any of those experiences, think about something that's happening to you right now that makes you feel humiliated. All right. So go ahead and breathe in, and we're going to ask that the angels and guides help us with each one of our glands, that they help us remove the humiliation that's living inside of our glands since the age of 3. Breathe out. Breathe in and breathe out. We're asking to release the humiliation out of our glands. Breathe in and breathe out. Thank you very much. And the next one we'd like to do is grief. So at 6 years old, we had something that had to do with grief and made us really, really sad, and it lived in our colon. And we put it in our colon because we didn't know how to deal with it. So we're going to ask that the angels and guides, Archangel Michael, help us release out of our colon some grief that's been living there since 6 years old. Ready? Breathe in. Breathe out. Breathe in. Breathe out. One more time, if we can ask that all of that grief is removed. Breathe in. Breathe out. Breathe in. Breathe out. Now, Aries, before you have any kind of conversation with anyone, or if you feel like a conversation might go in a certain way, I want you to listen to this recording all over again, because we don't just release the emotion just one time. we can release it over and over and over and over again until you don't feel like you're triggered anymore by that situation or by that feeling. So you can come back many, many times in order to listen to that and release. Thank you so much, Aries, for coming to this video today. I can't wait to see you again. I don't know what Spirit's going to have me do the next time, but I'm really excited. And you guys have a great, great day. Bye.